Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Welcome to the Zedos Gang podcast. I'm Sacha, Allari, and to my right we have Joseph Buchanan.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
Oh, hey.
It's me saying hello.
Oh, okay. Threw me off there. Okay, cool. Today's topics. Today is X-Men Apocalypse. Brand new trailer just hit the web this week. We got some Wolverine free news. We'd like to talk about a little bit about the casting of the new Battle Angel for Battle Angel Alita. Also, the acquisition of DreamWorks animation to Universal Studios. We'll also be talking about the new Lara Croft. On top of that, we have the prequel to the Omen that has just been announced and who's directing it and what's going down in there. Also, Iron Man 4, will Robert Downey return? Alien 5 and Bad Neighbors 2. Over to you, Joe.
Right, okay, so trailers that dropped last week, well, actually it came out the day after we did the podcast last week. It was X-Men Apocalypse, and looks like it's the final trailer before the film comes out. It looks pretty good. Sach, what did you think of it when we just watched it again, just to refresh ourselves? What were your thoughts on it?
This is the first time I'm talking about this trailer. This is my thoughts. I love it. I think it's the best X-Men anything. I'm going to overhype this. I do apologise. I saw that. I didn't expect what to get. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this trailer. I liked the energy. I liked, it sold me. And I was already kind of halfway sold kind of thing with this movie. But look, all right. Love the cast. Love the tone. Singer's back doing his thing. I know there's a lot of people out there that probably don't like the X-Men movies. Look, I'm an X-Men fan. I love the 90s cartoons. I read the comics like back in the 90s and early 2000s. And I like what they've done with this film series to date. I mean, like, sure, it's had a few turkeys, etc. But I'm hyped for Apocalypse, okay? I really am. I've bought into the Kool-Aid. I'm sorry. This trailer was an awesome freaking trailer. It hit all the bells and whistles for me. Oscar Isaac looks fantastic, in my opinion. Sure, he doesn't look like the traditional Apocalypse, but okay, sure, those set photos look a bit hokey or whatnot when we saw their Entertainment Weekly cover and stuff. But you know what? It looks like they've kind of changed and evolved the look. And, what sold me for me, look, I love Apocalypse, okay? When I saw him change mass and size, that was it. Game. I want to see this film. I want it out tomorrow. I want to see it right now. I love the trailer. That's all I have to say, really.
Yeah, I could say myself, it was a good trailer. It was a good trailer, but I still think in terms of the presentation of trailers these days have changed a lot. Trailers that I used to look up to were the Matrix Reloaded trailers, and even this is going to be blasphemous, but even because I watched all the trailers over the week, and I think the best trailers in that were X2 trailer and the Last Stand trailer.
Last Stand had a fantastic trailer.
Yeah,
it made me hyped to see the movie, only to get ass raped when I sat down and watched it, because I hate that movie. But
yeah, it's not a good movie. Hold on.
Yeah.
So watching those trailers again, it just refreshed my memory on how trailers used to be promoted. I like this trailer, this X-Men Apocalypse trailer, but to me, a lot of the trailers these days have become very generic. They all feel the same. They all start with like the bam, 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 and it's I don't know. I'm a little bit tired of it. I prefer the way trailers used to have their own personality. Again, the Matrix trailer, the Matrix Reloaded trailer, the Star Wars Episode 1 trailer. To be honest, all of the prequel episode trailers were really good. I'm not making any suggestions of what the film will be like. It's just what the trailer, how I felt the trailer was like. It felt very generic to me, even down to the music. Sacha does like the music, but again, it feels. I didn't feel excited about it. It didn't drive any excitement to me. I mean, even though going back to the Watchmen trailer, it had its own personality. It had that what's the band called, the Smashing Pumpkins song over it, which gave it the mood that sold the film to you. And I think that's what a lot of these trailers these days are missing. It's the mood of how it's supposed to fit, how the film's supposed to feel. And this. They shoved a bunch of images together, what they could show, and put a soundtrack on it. That's how I feel about it. But there's a part at the end of the trailer that really excited me, because I didn't know that this character was going to be in it. This is a spoiler for anyone that hasn't seen this trailer or wants to know, so I have warned you. So you see like a little snip, and it's Wolverine that's in the trailer, and that to me just seems like it's all these worlds are connected. All the films are connected to some degree. I guess they're split off into two universes since the last film, but they're still connected, and so it's. I find out this film's going to look really good. There's one aspect of this trailer that I really love. It's the Quicksilver segment that looks like it's going to be deep in terms of. I don't know what he has to do in it, but he looks stressed in it. So if he's looking stressed and he can move as fast as he can move, something there's multiple things happening in that scene that I would love to dive into once the film hits. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. Nothing else to say there, man.
Okay, so
speaking of X-Men and speaking of that reveal at the end, Wolverine 3, Richard E. Grant has just been cast in there, along with what's his name?
Are we going on to the next topic?
Seems like a mutual flow. I've got nothing else to say about X-Men.
Okay, so we're going on to the next topic now, which is Wolverine 3. As Sacha was saying, Richard E. Grant and Stephen Merchant have been cast in this, and Richard E. Grant, I sort of understand, but Stephen Merchant, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Stephen Merchant used to be in The Office. Well, he was in The Office, and he produced it, and I think co-wrote it with Ricky Gervais, the UK version, that is, and he was also in Extras and Life's Too Short. And so, his character. I think he's got a show on Netflix as well called Hello Ladies, I think. And I'm not sure how long that lasted, but Stephen Merchant was the last person I would ever think of to be in this type of film. So it's interesting casting, all the same. Sach.
Hey, they're both very talented actors, and to be quite honest, I don't know. There's nothing really there for me to get excited other than they're in it. I mean, they're playing scientists.
Oh, we know one of them are playing scientists.
Well, one of them's playing scientist, Richard E. Grant. To be quite honest, I haven't seen him in a movie in a while. To be quite honest,
over 10 years.
Is it over 10 years? I mean, I know he does Downton Abbey now, or showed up in there, or at least, or whatever. But
Downton Abbey's finished now.
But I don't know. It's always good to see someone you haven't seen in a while on a big screen. Doesn't really make me any more excited about this project, to be quite honest, because I much rather would like to know who they're playing and how that affects the story and stuff, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's cool, good to say they're in it, but they're not, they're great actors, but depends what they're doing and what kind of story they're ultimately going to go with. I mean, I know they're hinting at Old Man Logan, but me as a comic book fan can't really see that unless it's part of the actual main Marvel universe.
The Hulk's supposed to be in there, isn't he?
everyone's supposed to be in that.
Okay.
Like everyone.
Well,
Like,
well, there you go. So it's good. It's not going to be. It's
Yeah.
definitely not going to be the film that we think it. Well,
well,
comic
yeah,
book
that's
fans
what I
think
mean.
it
Like
is.
because like you know, in the original in the Old Man Logo comic book series, basically it's in a post-apocalypse future where all the Marvel villains have taken over the United States. So the States is kind of like run by different supervillains. So Magneto has like his own state. Doctor Doom has his own state. The Hulk is a villain in this universe, so he has his own state, and he has Hulk. He has Hulk kids, and they're like.
And how did that happen?
He fucked someone and monsters got born. I don't fucking know, but it happened. And basically, the Hulk kids are like.
Hold on a minute. That's your explanation.
That's my explanation. Why is that a bad explanation? You're not busy.
Whoa. So how did he do this? Did he do this in Hulk form or in human form?
Hulk form, of course, man.
How? How would that even work?
I don't know. Speak to Stan Lee. He created. This
No,
shit.
I'm asking you. I want to know the explanation to how a woman.
I didn't write it.
Okay, so
I did not write this.
He's got quote Hulk kids off
Hulk
quote.
kids, yeah. Basically, they roam the place, and they're kind of like the mafia kind of thing. They're like. No,
Sorry, I believe the term is quote unquote. So yeah.
They're kind of like a bunch of hillbillies, basically. Seriously, they're around. You know what I mean? They're around. They're fucking shit up in that area where Old Man Logan lives, because Logan has a farm now and he has a wife and kids and he's settled down. He's not into violence and stuff. It's very much like Unforgiven, okay? And then Hawkeye just rolls up, and Hawkeye's like all real old and shit, and I can't remember what his deal is, but he's like, he has to go somewhere, if I remember correctly, and Logan joins him on this little ride and stuff, and they got to drive, you know, it's so he can get money to pay the Hulk. That's it.
What?
Yeah, because the Hulk owns this particular batch of land or whatever that Logan's farm is on.
So can I
Yeah.
one more thing. So
Yeah.
the Hulk is just the Hulk now. It's not Banner anymore.
It's not Banner, it's just Hulk.
Okay, that explains a lot.
It's just Hulk, man.
Okay.
Hulk's like some kingpin.
So
mafia boss.
he's basically someone you can't negotiate with.
Yeah,
because
kinda.
give me money now.
Well, it leads to a big fight at the end between Wolverine and Hulk. Trust me. But either way, you know, Hawkeye, Wolverine, they team up. They go on an adventure across the wasteland that is the United States of America now, and you know, they get into adventures, and you kind of see like all these villains, and you know what I mean, like this fucked up universe kind of thing. It's nuts. There's Spider Girl in there because Peter Parker died, and it's Peter Parker died, but it's his daughter up in there, and yeah, it's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool. I recommend it to anyone. Old Man Logan, read it. I guarantee you, it's
Anything
not,
that Hulk has a state in, that needs to be seen. And he has kids. That I need to see the conception of these children.
you need to read it. Seriously, it's a good read.
I'm interested in the conception that he must have raped someone. There's no way in the hell that the Hulk could have sex with anyone naturally.
Anyway, check out that book. I guarantee you the movie's nothing like that, because I don't know, I think they're doing their own thing. I think all they're getting from all they're grabbing from this storyline is that he's old and he's teaming up with old Charles Xavier.
Well, Charles Xavier.
Yeah, on an adventure. He's hardly an archer, old Professor X, but we'll see what happens, man.
Well, okay, yeah. So yeah, given that, I'm not sure actually when the film's supposed to come out, but yeah, that's that's Wolverine 3. And so next up is Battle Angel Alita. So this is James Cameron's this was supposed to be James Cameron's adaptation of the manga of Battle Angel Alita, as it's called, and this is a very similar to Ghost in the Shell, but it's not. So this film has a list of actresses that will play this character now, and it's a interesting set of actresses. You've got Mika Monroe. She was in It Follows.
Yeah.
Rosa Zalaza. I'm not sure what she's been in, but she's new to me. I haven't read her rap sheet. Not her rap sheet, but her what she's been in. And Zendaya, not sure who she is either. And Bella Thorne, not sure who she is either. All these actresses are fairly new to the game from what I've seen on IMDb. Some of them been in TV shows and whatnot, and so the one that stands out to me is Mika Monroe. She's been in 2 films that I've seen in the cinema. One was
well, she's been in quite a lot of films recently. I mean, like her filmography.
She's coming up in Independence Day.
Her filmography is mainly movies. I mean, she was in It Follows. She was the daughter in The Guest.
Yeah, that's
she
it,
was
The Guest.
most recently in The Fifth Wave. And a couple of years ago, she was in Labor Day with what's his face, Thanos. What's his name? The guy that plays Thanos. Josh Brolin. There we go. Josh Brolin. Right. Labor Day. As for Zendaya, I don't know. She sounds like a superhero already. She's up and coming. She's casting the new Spider-Man reboot by Marvel, Spider-Man Homecoming. She's mainly a Disney Channel kid, so she's in a lot of Disney TV kind of stuff for children and stuff. So I guess maybe like you know she's just breaking out, obviously into movies. She's got Spider-Man under her belt. She's now considered into this casting list with Battle Angel. What's it? Rosa Zabzar, or I don't know whether I'm saying this thing. I mean, she's about to be in the Maze Runner. Yeah, she's in the Maze Runner series. She's in the Detergent series, Divergent, Detergent, Insurgent. I don't know what the hell.
She's been in a lot of TV shows.
She's done mainly TV. Most notably, Hunt the Truth. And Bella Thorne's been around. She's done Blended, The Duff. Most recently, she's in Ratchet and Clank. She's been in Dirty Sexy Money on TV. She has a recurring role in that. And, she's got a lot of credits, this kid. She's done a lot of work in both TV and film. Monica Monroe's mainly films only. And
she was in Dirty Sexy Money. That was on years ago.
Yeah, she was, man. So yeah, I mean, like it's a bit weird because I think there's still. Well, James Cameron said like years ago that with the Battle Angel role was that it was his vision was that it was going to be like a synth thespian rather than an actress. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be. I don't know whether that's still the plan. Whether he still wants it to be the character to be completely CG. Kind of thing, because that was his original plan. Haven't heard anything whether he's diverted from that plan or not, kind of thing. I think it being James Cameron, he's going to hold to his guns because he wants to do some revolutionary stuff. He's only down as the producer, but he'd only hand it off to another director if...
That might be Robert Rodriguez, right?
No, it is Robert Rodriguez,
okay.
Who I think would be a perfect fit. I mean, like, I don't know.
It would definitely be violent.
Yeah, it'll definitely be violent. I don't know. Rodriguez, fair enough. Say what you will about him. He's still a great filmmaker, despite like a few misses.
I don't think he's a bad director. I think he's awesome. He knows exactly what he wants to do,
yeah,
and
exactly.
he knows. If you look at him, he knows the expectations that he's going to get from the films that he makes.
Exactly.
Like with the 2 Machete films, he knew.
Yeah, he knew exactly what kind of movie it was, and he knew exactly that it was a B movie, and he knew it wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea. And hats off for him because he stuck to his vision, and
he's done it.
And he's done it. But you know what? Battle Angels are different. It's a much broader canvas for what he's used to and stuff, and he's got Cameron backing him in his corner. I can't wait to see what they come out with this property. It's going to be huge, or it's, what I mean, it's got the potential to be huge. As for these actresses and how how it fares well with them, Cameron, I wouldn't be surprised if Cameron was behind the casting decisions here, and he has a very good eye for talent. Okay, this guy, this guy took Ripley to the next level. He casted Sarah Connor. He worked, most of his film scripts have very strong female kind of presence within his films, and
hence why he was interested in Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, exactly. And if these are the 4 girls that they're narrowing down, whoever has a battle royale between the 4 of them is going to be the victor and probably be the best pick, to be fair. All right, because they will, these are 4 very different and interesting choices, and it kind of makes me feel that they are going the full CG route, because do you know what I mean? Like, it all depends on
I don't
who they do. You don't think they are?
No, having watched I've got the copy of Battle Angel on DVD, and I watched it again recently, and I think they'll go for something like Ex Machina.
Okay.
So they'll use a real person, but part of her body will be CG.
Yeah.
And going on to another issue about the film is the race of the character. There's no race there's no indication to what race she is.
In the movie, in the animated movie, or in this?
In the manga or the film, and so sorry, the animated film, and I was very careful to even her name. God, I can't remember what the character's name is in the film, but it doesn't suggest. One, there's no particular country it's set in, and it doesn't suggest race, and so it could be anyone.
Yeah.
It could I don't. I've seen some very interesting comments online about this, and people that are saying things like that need to get their facts straight. And I'm pretty sure I've got my facts straight, but again, people are shouting from the rooftops saying, "Oh, she should be Asian, or she should be whatever she should be." And
that's the thing now with like Japanese anime. Everyone's like, "Oh, it should be a Japanese person, or it should be an Oriental guy, or whatever." But you know what I mean? Like you said, read the source material.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I remember there's this video game series. I don't know whether any of you guys have heard of it, but me and Joe are big fans. Metal Gear Solid. Okay, the character of Solid Snake is an American guy. You know what I mean? He's not Oriental.
No, he's not Oriental.
He's not Oriental at all.
And he's not technically American either.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's not. It's true. He has no country.
No, it's very ambiguous to where he's from.
Yeah.
Even in the one that I'm playing now,
Number 5. Yeah.
He makes reference to things, and
the reason why I bring that up is because I used to work in an environment where everyone was hardcore video game and anime kind of nuts, and when people would talk about Mel Gear movie, people would be like, "Oh well, he has to be Japanese." I'm like, why? Which version did you play?
He's not Japanese.
I know, right? I was like, which version did you play, dude? I mean, like, completely completely like, I don't know. But no, I think you're right, dude. Yeah.
For goodness sake, the boss in 3 is Russian, so. Anyway, yeah. So in terms of this particular film, it's ambiguous. She could be from. She could be Japanese. She could be African. She could be from anywhere.
Yeah.
And the fact that again, just read the source material, or just pick up the manga, or watch it, or however you guys watch things these days, and you'll see that it's totally ambiguous to where she's from, and whoever's cast for this, I'm sure will be a good fit. The casting director will do their job, and they'll be the right fit for the right actress. So that's what I've got to say on that. You done? You cool? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So on to the next topic, and that's NBCUniversal buys DreamWorks for nearly $4 billion. Billions. yeah, what do you make of this? I just
What do I make of it? I think Universal now have a lot more IPs to play with, definitely, with How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek and all of that stuff. You know, I don't really feel any which way about it, to be honest. I mean, like...
looking forward to another Shrek?
Yeah.
Why?
The last one... hey, look. I love Shrek, the original, and funnily enough, I really like the final one. The final one that came out was a good closure to the series, even though that series had kind of like went downhill after like number 2, because two was pretty funny. 2 was pretty funny. It wasn't as good as number 1, but you know the jokes were there and stuff, and it was quite good. I don't even remember the 3rd one or the 4th one. But the 5th one, the last Shrek, was a decent movie. It was a decent movie. It was a good end to the series. Does there need to be another one? No, but, you know, I'm pretty sure there will be. You know, How to Train Your Dragon, that's a series of books. So hopefully you will finish the series and get the other books made. I don't know. There's loads of scope.
Other films, mate.
Final films, books, whatever. There's a lot of scope within that IP. What else do they have? I mean, like, to be quite honest, I don't really want to see another Madagascar because those films sucked. And, yeah, I don't know. You know what? Like, Universal, it's a good win for Universal, to be quite honest, in general. Now they've got, like, an animation company to compete with, like, people like Pixar. DreamWorks aren't bad. They've done some good films. They have done some good films. And... you know, I don't really think they're as good as Pixar, but, you know, the Shrek series, you know, I do like. A lot of people do like them. I've never been a Madagascar fan. I liked the first movie, and that was about it. The sequels were, did we really need to go back there? You know? Yeah, is what it is, I guess.
I guess it can't be as bad as the, what's those Fox animation films called again with the little...
Oh, Ice Age.
Yeah. How many Ice Ages have there been now? Like
I think
15?
I think this is like the 5th.
I didn't know that there weren't that many Ice Ages.
I'm not too sure. I mean,
no, in terms of actual Ice Ages. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about DreamWorks, but I thought it was owned by DreamWorks. I thought...
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Clearly not. I guess that you can sell parts of a studio, it seems. So, yeah. Is any of that still owned by Spielberg and
Yeah, I think...
Is it John Lasseter?
No, it's not John Lasseter.
No, I'm thinking of something else completely. Sorry.
Yeah.
And that was 3 guys that owned DreamWorks. The one was Spielberg, SK...
Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Okay. Don't know who the other guy is, but do they still have a stake in it, or is it?
They still have a stake in it,
Okay.
but I don't know what the deal. Why they sold off the animation part of the studio. To be quite honest, I think Warner's missed out because I think, you know, if they were under Warner's, that could have brought them and their IPs back in the game. Because, you know, it's been a long time since we had a Daffy Duck and, you know, Bugs Bunny kind of thing, but I guess they're kind of out of that business, aren't they?
Not really. No, they just did a whole bunch of them, CG ones.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They put them. I don't think they ended up over here, but they put them in front films in America.
Oh, okay.
And I think they're even out on Blu-ray now or DVD. You could, or you can find them online somewhere. It's
yeah.
All I remember is that I know I definitely did a Wild Coyote one, and what's that thing that runs fast?
Oh, Roadrunner.
Roadrunner, yeah. And so I'm not 100% sure about that, but I know I remember reading a few years ago that they were doing a whole bunch of CG ones that they were going to put six minutes, either 3 or 6 minutes in front of films just before the main feature. So I don't know how true that is, but yeah. I don't really have anything more to say about the NBC thing, but good luck to them. I hope it goes well. I'm sure they'll do something interesting with the purchase. I mean, that's nearly as much as Disney paid for Lucasfilm. So, and I think that was more lucrative for for Disney than anything else.
Well,
But
Disney like almost made their money back on one film. I mean, like
Yeah.
Force Awakens made over 2 billion. So you know,
yeah,
they've more than capitalised on their investment there. DreamWorks Animation. Well, you know what? First, if I was Universal, first thing I'd do is make another Shrek. That's what I would do if I was the head of Shrek 6 is coming, because you know that's the most bankable IP they have. If I was them, we're not in a rush for a Shrek movie, so take your time with it. Universal, just get good writers and make it decent. Okay, because we don't want to just shit pan it for the sake of and get 5 sequels later and they're not as good as the original.
well, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay then. On to the next topic. Alicia Vikander is now Lara Croft. I thought this was. I never even thought of her when this was announced that they were looking for a new Lara Croft. When Daisy Ridley was up for it, I thought, oh yeah, I could see that.
I thought Daisy Ridley while I was watching The Force Awakens. I'm not even joking. I was watching The Force Awakens for the first time. I was looking at her doing her thing, climbing up places and stuff, and I was like, that's Tomb Raider right there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know what? This, like Ben Affleck as Batman, is a left field kind of cast because everyone thought it was for sure going to be one thing, and it ended up being something else. But you know what? I mean, like, she's talented. This girl. She's
been
very
in so
talented.
many films in the past 2 years.
Yes, she has. I mean, like, look, she's been in The Danish Girl. She's in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Hell, she's the robot in Ex Machina. Machina. She's in Son of a Gun, Testament of Youth. She's now about to be in the new Jason Bourne movie. I mean, this girl is everywhere. All right, she's super talented. She plays different roles all the time. This will be her first time as a leading lady in a tough girl kind of action role. Well, mind you, I guess if they're doing the rebooted version from the game, then you know there's a lot of scope for her to grow and develop as a character here, and I think that's going to be. I think this is a good choice.
Yeah,
it's a very good choice, to be fair, considering her background and everything. I think, yeah. I mean, like Daisy Ridley. Don't get me wrong. She looks like the Tomb Raider. She could probably do it. But the thing is, okay, you want to believe that this is Lara Croft, and they've chosen someone that's talented with a lot behind them to fill the shoes.
I mean, she's got a track record now.
She has a track record. She's almost there. She's a star in her own right, but she's just breaking out. She's been in stuff. Daisy Ridley's, she's a superstar on one film. And you know, I'm not bad mouthing Daisy Ridley here, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
It's that's probably what they looked at when they were thinking, who's the next Tomb Raider? You know what I mean? So, well, you know, I think it's a good choice. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what they do with the IP and whether whether it works out for them.
I was talking to someone the other day. I think one of your friends, and they were talking about how they hope this version of it is better than the storyline in the game, and
better than
they didn't like the gameplay and they didn't like the story, and at first they said they didn't like the story, and I said what was wrong with the story, and they said that it just wasn't Tomb Raider. Well, no, it's not. It's before she's Tomb Raider. It's a reboot. It's how she became Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And I said to them, well, did you enjoy the game? Because games are supposed to be about gameplay, not story. Yeah. Essentially, story's part of it. Story drives the game along. I mean, look at Resident Evil 4. The storyline is minimal to what the game actually is,
and that's a fantastic game.
This is what I mean.
It's like one of the best games ever. By the way, all you listeners out there, if you haven't played Resident Evil 4, you don't deserve to play video games, and more importantly, play it on the fucking Wii. Okay, the Wii game will make you feel like you're in a frickin' horror movie. Just saying, try it out. If you don't believe me, whatever. Anyway, you were saying.
As I said, that. So yeah, I was talking to her about. I think it was a girl I was talking to anyway. But I think.
Wow.
There was no picture of them on the Facebook thing. So
Oh,
anyway, yeah. So I was talking to her about the storyline and said the storyline didn't seem that great, and then I found out that this person only played like an hour of the game. So I said. So I was thinking, there's no point in me continue this conversation because if you've only played an hour of it, you don't know what the story is. So you're not really qualified to say if the story is good or not because you don't know what the story is. And they didn't get through the gameplay because they said it wasn't like Tomb Raider. And I said, well, you haven't played the game then. So me having this conversation with you is absolutely moot. So I stopped the conversation right there. And this is I wish more games were like that. The current Metal Gear game I'm playing is all about gameplay. The story is very minimal, and I like that because it gives you a chance to write your own story. The story medium is more for films, in terms of it being a linear experience. It doesn't trap you into certain plot dynamics that like this Metal Gear game, you can make your own plot dynamics. So when Sacha plays it, will be completely different to the game that I play. He'll meet characters. He may or may not meet characters that I've met, and that's what a game is supposed to be. In terms of this this new Tomb Raider film, the storyline will be about her becoming the Tomb Raider. And it will be a linear experience because that's what films are supposed to be like. It's supposed to drive you along with what's happening on screen. So, in terms of this is the big divide with video games and films at the moment. Video games should be all about gameplay, and 30% of it should be about storyline. With films, it should be all about the storyline and not about the visuals. The visuals should come after the story has its base set down on it. So I don't know if what fans are waiting for. I don't know if this is something that fans want, but I find it interesting in terms of what the character used to be, because she used to be a big-breasted woman that raided tombs, and I guess that was great for the time that it was in. But this new Lara Croft seems more like a more grounded, more realistic version of the. Again, if you've played the game, I've played half of the game, so I know half of what's happening in it, and it's tough, man. It's gritty, and if the film's anything half of like what the game story is like, then it's going to be a good film. It's going to be a very good film.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like that. It's a fantastic game. To be quite honest, it's the only Tomb Raider game I've actually played all the way through.
Oh, right.
Like I played the other ones. They were okay. But you know what I mean. This current Tomb Raider, it came out on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. I got the 360 one. Completed it, everything, collected every item and stuff, and it's really good. Had a cool storyline based on the island and stuff with her and a group of pals that got involved in this stuff, and it's quite good.
Just one more thing that I'd like to put. Those type of games, Resident Evil 4 set a precedent to what those games would be like. It's third person, and it's ever since then Resident Evil 4 set a standard. I don't want this to become a gaming podcast because it isn't, but it set a standard, and because the storyline was woven through the gameplay, it just changed everything. And that's all I've got to say about that. Alicia Vikander, fantastic actress. I like her. My friend Eddie loves her.
Does he?
Yeah, Eddie loves her, man. Shout out to Eddie. Edward Kahn. Eddie Kahn. He's a pilot, by the way. And so, what was I saying? Yeah, I think she's fantastic. Again, didn't think of her being in it at all, but it's a nice, refreshing look at what Lara Croft can be, and I think she can. I think Alicia Vikander can pull it off. Not sure who's directing this yet, but I think this film this is due to come out next year. I think I'm not 100% sure about that, but I know it'll be in the next year or two. So, yeah. Anything left to say?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, on to the next topic. The Omen prequel is in the works at 20th Century Fox. This will be a prequel to the 1976 film that was directed by Richard Donner. If you don't know who Richard Donner is, he directed Lethal Weapon, The Goonies, Superman. The guy's a legend, and so it's a direct prequel to that film. Have you ever seen The Omen, Sach?
I've never seen The Omen. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen The Omen. I don't intend to. I'm not really the horror movies guy. I'm not gonna lie. I'll watch stuff with a big audience. If, let's say, a group of friends were like, let's go watch this, I'll go watch it. But if I was given the choice, not really my bag. But no, yeah, prequel. The director they got, Antonio Campos.
I think you're right,
Yeah. He's an indie director. He did Christine. He's done Simon's Killer and After School. This is kind of like a big coup for him. It's like his first studio film. So, good on him. Wish him the best of luck. I haven't really got much to say about The Omen, to be fair. Hopefully it's a good omen for him.
Haven't been the only one that seems to have seen The Omen here. I can honestly say it was. I watched The Omen when I was quite young, and it made a big impression on me.
That's the one with the little boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Omen film spawned off two sequels, which was my first introduction to Sam Neill, and Sam Neill played Damien in the third film, and I just remember because I just remember him being so creepy, and then the next time I saw him was in Jurassic Park, and hey, this guy was Damien, and that just goes to he's such a great actor that you can separate the two parts. Anyway, going back to this prequel is I can't really see how they can do this because there's not much to say about the It's about the Antichrist. So this would bring Damien is basically the devil's son. It's the complete opposite to what Jesus was, and is to bring about the end of days. That's about it, really. I don't know how you could go before that, before he was born, and do. But what I don't know what there is to say about that, really. But I guess 20th Century Fox seemed that there is a precedent to do this, so good luck to him. I'm not sure who they're going to get to direct. You already said who's directing. And so,
well, the way I see it is, it's a well-known brand, well-known IP. It's not going to take a lot to film. You know what I mean? Like in terms of budget and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fox are just probably looking for a quick buck on the horror movie end. I mean, like, look, you've got a well-known IP. A relatively unknown director. I mean, he's done 3 films, but he's an indie director. It's cheap to churn out. They'll make money off the IP alone, and if it's a smash hit, you know what I mean. That's a brand new well for them to goldmine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like that's literally what it is.
But that's okay. You're going off the back of maybe 2 films that were very good back in the 1970s and 80s,
which they could rebrand now. I mean, like, fair enough. There's a lot of people that remember stuff from back then.
But it's already had a reboot. You do remember that?
That is true.
And that film didn't fare too well. And I'm not sure going back to the original and beyond it.
Yeah.
What I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
if you've ever watched the films, there's not much to say about what happens before that. It would be a lot of people standing around. I think the second coming of the Antichrist is coming here. No, the first coming of the Antichrist, and people stroking their beards and thinking what to do. That's the only thing I can think of.
You know what? Maybe they're in a church and they're just beard stroking. Maybe we should call the film Beard Stroker. The Omen Beard Stroker.
And on that point, we'll move straight on to the next topic. Robert Downey Jr. has teased that he was interested in an Iron Man 4.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
So do you think they're going to offer him any money for this?
Of course they're going to offer him. You know what? Yeah. You know what? I read somewhere. I read somewhere, or someone told me that apparently they asked him what he thought about the Star Wars movie, and he said, "Well, if it's made how much did Star Wars make? 2 billion. It's made 2 billion.
2.1.
Yeah, 2.1 billion. So they can afford to pay me for Iron Man 4. Done. You know what I mean? Like, that's simply what it is. Okay, here's the thing, okay? What's his name? Ron Pearl, the Mattel guy, the Toy Biz guy that's in charge of Marvel, okay? He's not in charge of the decision-making at Marvel Studios, so he can go to hell, okay? So, that's all Kevin Feige and those guys. Now, here's the thing. Disney have money. They have a shit ton of money. Okay, they have more money than God at the moment. Okay, and Robert Downey knows this, so he's like, of course he's fair game. He's like, cool, Iron Man 4, I'm getting paid, because you know what? Who's going to play Iron Man right now?
That guy from Mad Men.
Well, either way,
who looks exactly like him as when he was younger.
Well, if they could get that guy, which
I'm pretty sure when we see the making of, I'm pretty sure they got that guy as young Tony Stark.
Nah, that was CG.
No, I'm pretty sure it was him.
That's what you think. That's the
dude?
I
think it was him.
You think that was the actual dude?
I think it was
CGI?
him. Yeah.
Well, just for those guys that know, this is a spoiler. There's a flashback sequence in Civil War. There's a young Tony Stark. I think it was mocap. I think Robert Downey played that in CG. Same way they did the Hank Pym in Ant-Man with Michael Douglas.
I'm pretty sure you're
What's
right.
What's the name of this actor in Mad Men?
Okay, let me just bring this up. Continue talking while
But no, I mean, in my eyes, he is Iron Man. He is freaking Iron Man. But, you know what? That doesn't mean that I don't think anyone else can play Iron Man. What you've got to do is divorce yourself from Robert Downey. And you got to think, when they said they were making Iron Man movies before he was cast, you always got to revert to who you would have casted before he cemented himself in that role. And to be quite honest, before he was Iron Man, a lot of people were saying Tom Cruise. In fact, Tom Cruise had the rights and wasn't going to make an Iron Man movie till this superhero thing died down, but that never happened. And luckily his movie never got made. I mean, had there been a Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames Iron Man movie, how different would it
Ving Rhames?
Yeah, Ving Rhames was going to be
no way.
Yeah.
Damn, I would have that would have been interesting.
It would have been completely different. It would have been completely different. Completely different. And you sometimes got to look at that. I mean, what? I think Charlie Sheen was once attached at one point in the 90s.
Yeah, that definitely would have been.
To be quite honest, though, I could see Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, because is Charlie Sheen.
That is Charlie Sheen. But, I think Robert Downey Jr. has done such a fantastic job with this role. It's real difficult. Holy shit, he does look just like Robert Downey Jr. Okay, Ben Fieldman from Mad Men fame, yeah?
Yeah.
What else has he been in?
Not sure. I saw him in Mad Men.
Well, scroll down.
Oh, he's in Cloverfield.
He's in Cloverfield?
Yeah. He's in a lot of TV shows. 400 Days, Children's Hospital. Yeah, he's been in a lot of TV.
But can he act?
Yes, he can.
Like Robert Downey Jr.
Have you not watched Mad Men?
I've watched Mad Men, but I've obviously not got up to the bit where he's in it.
That's season 5.
Well, he didn't stand out to me and make me go, he's Robert Downey
Basically,
Jr.
Do you know Robert Downey Jr.'s character in... what's that film with Marissa Tomei?
Civil War?
No, he did back in the 90s with Marissa Tomei.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
he did a film with Marissa Tomei, and his character is exactly that character in Mad Men, and even before this, when the whole recasting thing was going on, that's what people were saying. Yeah, that guy from Mad Men should be the next Iron Man because he's exactly like Robert Downey Jr. when he was younger.
Right.
And
he does have a striking resemblance because that looks that looks like Robert Downey Jr. That's scary.
This is what I mean.
That is actually scary.
This is what I'm telling you, man.
That is nuts. Okay, what's his name again?
Ben Fieldman, even.
Ben Fieldman.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben Fieldman for Iron Man 5, I guess. Unless Robert Downey just goes, no, fuck you, bitch.
But that's the thing. You've got if just.
I don't think he played him in the Civil War flashback. I don't think he did. I think that was CG.
I don't.
Well, I'm seeing it again tonight. So
I reckon maybe it was part.
Maybe.
But we'll won't know until we see the featurette.
We'll figure it out.
Until we see what Island did.
Yeah.
We won't know. So
I'm going to tweet that out and just go. Is that
Ben Fieldman?
Did Ben Fieldman play it or was it RDJ? So yeah.
Another Iron Man. So yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay, that's a good call just on clones and stuff. But yeah,
Jon Favreau's up for it as well, isn't he?
What?
Jon Favreau's
going to be Iron Man?
No.
Oh, direct?
Yeah.
No. Jon Favreau says he's open, but he kind of feels that he's done it.
Right.
You know, like, look, I think a lot of the MCU is, you know, like, he had a major part. He was the guy. Jon Favreau was the guy.
He kickstarted everything. And now he's swinging the trees in the jungle with Jungle Book, which still, in my opinion, is the best film this year, followed by Civil War. But you know what I mean? I'm interested to see what Favreau does next, to be quite honest. But getting back on point with Robert Downey Jr., of course he's doing Iron Man 4. That's a given. It wouldn't surprise me if he did Iron Man 5 afterwards. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna try and secure him for as much as they can. And I say if this Fox Sony thing works out. No, this Fox Marvel thing works out. If this Fox Marvel thing works out, come on, man, who doesn't want to see Robert Downey Jr. like slug it with the X-Men? Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be awesome. So I don't know whether that would happen.
It'd be very convoluted.
Yeah, I don't know whether that would happen. I don't know, you know how I don't know whether that would happen. Maybe it might because Simon Kinberg's going back on his whole, you know, our Fox, you know, X-Men universe is its universe. It's, you know, last year he was, because they had Fantastic Four, it hadn't come out yet. Even a little bit after it had come and crashed and failed, they were like still going to go with those plans. But this year, a couple of months ago, he was just saying, "Oh, I could see our characters, you know, mixing with the MCU." Mm-hmm. So. Do you know what I mean? Maybe.
Hey, that's how it started with Sony. So
true.
So there's probably
actually, you know what, with the Sony thing, I still think that was quite left field when that happened because they were adamant, even after the Less Than Amazing Spider-Man 2 crashed and burned. they were. I'm sorry.
I need to see a film that's called The Less Than Amazing Spider-Man.
No. There is a film called. It was those lost. Okay. I don't do reviews, but you know what? I might just do a...
Well, the film's not in the cinemas anymore.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. I might do a classic review of shit movies, and I fucking hate those films. I really do. Look, here's the thing. Spider-Man's my favourite character, okay, of all time. And Andrew Garfield was great in those movies. Shame about those fucking movies. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm outvoted on this. I know the whole internet and the whole world loves the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I really can't stand either of them.
Let me tell you something about Paul Giamatti in that film. Some people called him a procrastinating piece of garbage that shouldn't have been on screen, and that was toilet all through that film. Every time he was on it, his critics were less kind.
I'm gonna be honest though. One of the only things I liked from that film, so I did like the rhino outfit in that film.
Anyway, so yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
That was probably one of I don't know. Now I'm thinking about the film. We're talking about Iron Man. Well,
let's not talk about Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is up for it. He wants money, and he'll get it because he was very good in this film. And this film is Civil War, Captain America: Civil War to be exact, and that came out this Friday just gone. Actually, I think it was Thursday, but that looks like it's going to make all the money, literally all of it. I can't see, and he's in it quite a bit.
Yeah,
Robert Downey Jr. and he's more involved than I thought he would be.
What's this, in Civil War?
Yeah.
Well, he has to be.
Because of just the way the films have been laid out so far, and how each character has their moment. He has many of them.
Yeah.
And so I thought he would have a few, and then that'd be that. But I don't want this to turn into a review of the film, but he's good in it. I'm sure Marvel will pay out his what he's due for.
Mickey will give him his Disney dollars. He'll be fine. He'll be getting those mouse dollars all the way to the bank. What is the $100 bill at Disneyland? I'm going to Google that, and that's exactly what the man has. Okay?
Well, so on from Robert Downey Jr. to Alien 5. Neil Blomkamp has been putting up some artwork on what Newt looks like as a 27-year-old, and he seems to be very adamant that this film's going to happen, and he's looking for actresses to play this new Newt role. So basically, he's ignoring Alien 3 and 4 with good right, and this will be a direct sequel to Aliens. So the second film in the series of first, which was started by Ridley Scott, which was Alien, and second, which was the second film, Aliens, was by James Cameron, and so he wishes to move this forward, and so does Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver is very interested in what this film will be or could be, and so there's only one problem. Ridley Scott has just come off one of the biggest films that he's had in a long while. I guess since Prometheus, really. Prometheus, to a lot of people, Prometheus was hit and miss, but it did really well. It was the highest grossing out of the, if you put it in the franchise, the Alien franchise to date. So, of course, they were going to make a new movie out of it. It was just how they were going to do it. And his sequel to Prometheus is Alien Covenant. So he's more or less pushed Neil Blomkamp out of the way and said, "Look, I'm doing my films first. I'm doing 3 of them. So you won't see. We're not going to see Alien 5 until Sigourney Weaver's in her 90s." What they were saying on Movie Talk the other day, I think John Snap was saying it, is that why don't they just film Alien Why don't they just film the Alien 5 now, and just put it in the can, and then wait till Ridley Scott has finished his version, his prequels to Alien, and then release it straight after that.
Well, it works for Warner Brothers. I mean, Man of Steel was in the can for a year.
Yeah, with good reason.
Batman and Superman was left in the can for a year and a half.
It didn't do any better for it, did it?
No, it didn't. But that actually happens with some movies. Some movies get filmed and made, and then they're just waiting for a particular release date. When you invest money, you want to see a return on that capital, and I think that's what that comes down to, personally. Because you got to look at it as a business now. You're going to spend $200 million on this movie, potentially. All right, maybe a bit less, maybe $100 million because of the rating and whatnot. Okay, so that's still $100 million that you're spending. Okay, for that year in your business. You know what I mean? So you want to see profit from that. Do you know what I mean? To recuperate that. Do you know what I mean? So when you're looking at your yearly figures for your business, you've just put out and got nothing. So automatically that's a fail. Automatically that's a fail. You know, with any business that's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the full ins and outs, but that's the only logical reason that I could see that. You know, if Neil Blomkamp and Ridley Scott owned the IP outright and it was their own, you know, it wasn't owned by Fox or anything, and they did that, that's fine. They can do that. Hell, George Lucas could have done that with his Star Wars films. He could have just filmed, like...
He did.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, he could have just filmed something, put it in a vault, and just release it 30 years later or something if he wanted to. He still could now.
We don't know if he hasn't.
He probably has, you know. There's probably like an Indiana Jones 5 set in the 90s, like, I don't know. But you see the point I'm trying to make? When it comes to these films and stuff and why they don't do stuff like that, that's literally the reason I could think of. You spend a shit ton of money on an IP, on a project, you want a return of investment. And that goes with any business, whether that's Burger King burgers, a latte from Starbucks, because at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's the reality of stuff there. On point on how I feel about Alien 5, well, you know what? I actually really want to see this movie. I'd like to scratch 5 from the record and call it Alien 3, because...
I wouldn't call it Alien 3.
Yeah, okay.
I'll just give it...
Give it a...
Alien
something.
under subtitle.
Yeah, Alien something.
Yeah.
But either way, well, how about this? More aliens.
No.
More aliens. Anyway,
This is literally what it's like in Fox's marketing room. Okay, we need a name for the next Alien film. What are we gonna call it?
more aliens.
Yeah, that sounds great. Ship it and post it. Yeah. So.
But yeah, no. I think it's a good idea. Well, you know, I'm intrigued to see his take on aliens. I like the artwork that he put up. He's very passionate about this project. The fact that he managed to lure and coop Sigourney Weaver into being in this thing is masterstroke of genius. You know, and plus, like, Michael Biehn needs work. Hicks lives, motherfucker. Okay? That was one of the most disappointing things about Alien 3 to me. The fact that they built up Hicks as such a badass in that movie, and then first thing they do is like, my man's dead. And I was like, what? Even Michael Biehn was pissed off about that.
For Alien 3.
The movie's like over 20 years old, man. It's hardly a spoiler. Look. Here's the thing. This is a true thing. You can look it up. Michael Biehn, funnily enough, he was waiting for the script for Alien 3 and went down like this. He was waiting for the script because he couldn't wait to be in it, because the thing is, he got chunked in Terminator because his character got killed off, and the whole thing was James Cameron made him a character in in Aliens, and he was expecting a bigger role in number 3 and be like a main dude and stuff, and then he gets a phone call from his agent saying, yeah, you've been killed off, but they want you to be in it, you know, so they can scan your body to, you know. And he turned around, he said,
nope.
Nope, tell them to go fuck themselves. He literally did, because he was so upset that he couldn't be part of Alien 3. Mm-hmm. And, you know, fair enough. And fans felt that as well. Fans were like, what? You killed off Hicks? You know what? I need to revisit Alien 3. I'll tell you why. I actually have not watched Alien 3 since 1995.
It's a good film.
Okay? And I hated it.
It's a good film. If you disconnect it from when Ridley Scott said that he doesn't see 4 and 5 as part of the universe, okay, I can disconnect this from that realm
and just watch it as a standalone.
Yeah, it's good as a standalone film.
Oh, okay.
4th one, I'll never watch again.
You know what? Funnily enough,
comedic.
I've seen the 4th one more times than 3.
Wow.
I saw it in cinema, and I think I owned it on VHS. The third one, I had. Well, well, I owned it on VHS, but it was a pirate copy. It was literally back in the 90s, before download. There used to be these places, kids, called video shops. And you used to rent movies from the video shops, and then we used to get another cassette recorder and we used to record them. So I saw Alien 3 in a really shitty kind of quality kind of thing. So that probably didn't help as well, but storyline wise, yeah, I didn't like it. And if I remember, the audio was a little bit muffled. So, but you get what you're given when you're a 15-year-old kid. So,
yeah. So, just going back to it. Alien, to me, Alien 3 is the shining light out of the last two films.
Yeah,
it's not the greatest, but as a standalone film, it's fine. I completely ignore those two films there anyway.
Fincher hates that movie though.
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah,
he doesn't
mention it.
He actually disowns it from his cinematography.
Doesn't mention it at all.
He doesn't mention it. He hates it. You know what though? It's another example. That's another example of 20th Century Fox bullying their directors. I mean, it still goes on today. I mean, like, look, they had an IP. They wanted to release it straight away or whatever. There were loads of different scripts for Alien 3. You know what I mean? There was like even a script where it was set in a monastery on a wood planet and all kinds of crazy ass shit. And basically, they hired David Fincher. And David Fincher was like, cool, is this the version we're doing? He's like, yep. So he brought it towards a version, and then they'd cut the budget. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. Even in the editing room, they kind of took him away from the editing room, got other people to edit and rework his movie. I mean, the director's cut they've got on the Anthology DVD, I've not seen it, but I've been told
I've seen it.
That it's, he's even said, I don't know why.
There's two versions of it.
He said that, David Fincher has gone on record saying, I don't understand why they call it a director's cut, because he has nothing to do with that movie. Even that extended cut, he didn't put that, the editors did. They just like, oh, here's some footage David Fincher filmed, we'll just put it in the movie. You know what I mean? So that's not a director's cut. He hates that movie with a passion. His filmography starts with 7. If you haven't seen 7, watch fucking 7, and then you will know about what's in the box. Okay? That movie is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Ever. Seriously. I had to pimp out 7 there somehow.
No, of course,
so, but...
going back to Neil Blomkamp. Who do you think could play Newt?
Newt? Daisy Ridley. I don't know.
She can't be in 2 space sagas.
Okay, then, Alice, what's her face, that's Tomb Raider. I don't know, anyone can play Newt. We don't know what Newt's like as an older woman. We just know her as like, the monsters come out at night mostly. I
think that line's wrong, but...
It is wrong, I can't remember. I just remember that vision of her, like, just saying when they come out or whatever, I don't know.
They mostly come out at night,
But
mostly. So, the one thing we know about Newt is that she's agile.
Yeah.
And she's been through a lot of crap.
No, she's just been in this... Oh, yeah, when she's a kid.
Yeah, so this is what I mean. If I'm just taking what we know about her.
But technically, all we know is that she's been to sleep in that little cryotube and they've landed somewhere. And she's like, holy shit, I'm Lino from the Thundercats. I was a little kid and now I'm grown up.
Well, no, you can't grow when you're in stasis.
It happened to Lino in Thundercats.
We're not talking about Thundercats. Anyway, as a 27-year-old, I'm guessing she'll be Ripley's daughter, essentially.
But would she have, like, the mind of a child?
No.
Why?
Because she hasn't grown any older, you idiot.
But she's in a cryotube.
Yes, I know. So time has stayed exactly the same. She hasn't grown any more.
Maybe the tube was fucked up, man.
Anyway, that's Alien 5. I'm not sure when that's coming out. You crazy mofo, man. Neil Blomkamp is going to direct this film after Ridley Scott's finished his
You've got to have. I wonder whether his mate's going to be in there. What's his name? Copley, Charlotte Copley.
Don't know who that is.
You know, fucking District 9 dude.
Probably.
Yeah. Be interesting.
Oh, that's another thing. Did you like Chappie?
I'm one of the few that likes Chappie. Look, here's the thing. I generally like Neil Blomkamp stuff. Yes, he's a bit preachy. He's gotten a bit preachy in his later films about his political stance and stuff. But you know, that's most science fiction films, really. And second of all, I enjoyed Short Circuit 3.0. I mean, butterfly. You know, I really liked it. I really liked it.
Did you like the rappers that he had in the film?
You know what? I got introduced to their music because of that movie.
What's their name again? I know one's Ninja and the other one is
Yolande.
Yolande, okay. They're bizarre human beings, man.
They are, man. They are. They are.
And their music's so off key. It's and have you seen their music video? They've got this little baby thing that raps as well.
I haven't seen that.
It's so weird. It's probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. But have a look at the music tracks, man. It's interesting. But yeah, going way off track here. I didn't particularly love Chappie. I've seen it once. Yeah. And that was enough for me. Okay, I get it. It's Short Circuit with a cornier ending than Short Circuit. Yeah. I
don't know. I saw it as a comedy. There was so many.
That's not a comedy.
For me, there was just some stuff in there that made me laugh my ass off, and I know it was probably unintentional, but I really liked it. I thought it was cool. I don't know. Again.
No, you did.
Again, film subjective. And
exactly. Don't worry about it.
I'm in the camp where I was like, yeah, I dug the film. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, Neil Blomkamp. He'll be directing Alien, whatever the Alien Alien 5 or whatever it will be called. He'll be doing that after Ridley Scott has finished with his Prometheus sequels. Or Alien prequels, or however you want to call them, and so look out for Alien 5 in the cinema near you very soon. Okay, so on to our next segment, and that's films opening this week. There's only one major film coming out this week, and that would be Bad Neighbours 2. I've not actually seen the first one, so I can't really say much about it.
I've seen the first one.
The first one looked pretty cool. I still want to catch it at some point, and this second one looks pretty funny as well.
First one's a really funny movie. It's typical kind of like Seth Rogen kind of thing. I like the dynamic between him and his wife. What's her name?
The Australian chick.
The Australian chick. I've forgotten her name now. But yeah, no, it's a really good movie. Efron's really funny in it. It's got a lot of gags. Does it deserve a sequel though? No.
Why is that?
It said all it needed to say in that first movie. They had a really good, story and premise, and it did everything. If you watch the movie, Joe, like everything is said and done. You know what I mean? There was no reason for a sequel to this.
Well, there's no reason to do a sequel to anything.
That is true. I just don't, I get the premise. I saw the trailer. I get the premise behind it, but I just didn't think it was that strong enough to go back and revisit those characters. I guess they must have...
The actress's name is Rose Byrne.
Oh, she was in Troy, Star Wars Episode 2 as a handmaiden. Bad Neighbours. She's in everything. She's in First Class, and she's in the upcoming X-Men Apocalypse, playing Moira McTaggart, right? Is it Moira McTaggart?
That's right.
It is Moira McTaggart. Why isn't she Scottish? Why isn't she Scottish in those films?
She probably is. I'm Scottish as well, but
true.
I don't have to speak Scottish.
True. I know, but
I don't have to have the accent.
Is you watch the cartoons and then you're just like, okay. Anyway, Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, like, I am going to probably watch it anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's comedy, so I mean, if I guess it's like watching any of the Anchorman films or any of the stuff that what's his name?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell does. It's if you like him, you'll generally like what he's doing.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's just a matter of okay, this didn't need to happen, but I'll watch it anyway. I think it's deep. It's that programming. What do they call it? Because you've got Civil War out, people are going to want to see something else that counter-programming. And so I think this is coming out. It's coming out sandwiched in between this and X-Men. So
yeah,
very nice. I can't see anything wrong with that. So yeah, I hope if it's even half a decent film, it'll be fine. So yeah.
Speaking of which,
yeah,
can I just add something?
Sure.
For all you gamers out there, Ratchet and Clank is a wicked movie. If you're a Ratchet and Clank fan, check it out. It's actually the best video game adaptation ever made. It's just like the source material.
Okay.
So
what about Silent Hill?
See, this is more closer. A lot more closer.
How's that?
I'm only talking in terms of adaptation of the source material, not whether it's a better film than Silent Hill.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because Silent Hill's a better film. But if we're talking like, hey, I want to make a Mario movie, and they made a Mario movie, and if it was just like like what you got, Ratchet and Clank kind of did it. I mean, like, they got all the original voices in there. They got some movie stars in there, like Sylvester Stallone and that, doing the, not the main roles, but the sub-characters and stuff. And you're like, hang on, wait, isn't that so-and-so and whatnot? They added, They added a female character, and they actually added it in a rebooted version of the game for the story. And they managed to do something which no game adaptation has done. They've managed to make it actually true to the source material. Could it have been a better movie? Yeah, it could have. They could have put more jokes in there, kind of the way Pixar do their stuff. But because it wasn't by Pixar, I wasn't expecting it to be, of that quality. But it's a good, solid movie. If you like those characters, go check it out.
Yeah. Going by Sacha's recommendation, do it. Go and watch the film. If there are any fans of the game out there. Is there any other films that you want to talk about that's in cinemas? In cinemas
at the moment, just Civil War, baby. Check it out.
I've got one which I think has been underappreciated. If there are any jazz fans out there or just fans of independent films, go and watch Miles Ahead. That film is brilliant. It's not what you expect. It's a heist movie. Just go and watch it. You'll love it. It's great. "20 Questions" is back. Film 20 Questions is back, but this time Sach is going to be doing the questioning. Or I'm going to be questioning Sach. So how this works is that Sach will have a film written down, and I have 20 questions to guess what this film is. I've changed the rules a little bit, so you can give me 3 clues, and that's about it. Mm-hmm. And I've got, after my questions are finished, I have 1 guess. And so if I reach my entirety of 20 questions, I can guess once what that film is, and then, if I lose, I lose. But I'm going to start a competition with this at some point. So I will need writers to write in their film that they want either me or Sach to guess, and whoever guesses the film will get the prize. And so if you write into, you can either do this on Twitter. If you go to podcast at Zedos Gang, or hashtag podcast at Zedos Gang, and just write into that, and put your film down that you want us to guess. We'll do that. If you want to email us, just do it at podcast@zedosgang.co.uk. And just actually, you can write in for anything other than that if you want. But if you've got a film that you want me or Sach to guess, then just put it in, and that will come up on the show. How it will work in competition standards is that if there's more than 10, 20 people, or however many people write in, we'll put it as in a random select, and so we'll select one name, and then we'll use that whatever film that person has put down, we will have it on the show. So without any further ado, Sach?
Oh, what the film is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what the film is. So
okay, do I start? You've got to write it down, so I know you haven't.
Right, okay, sorry.
So I know you haven't changed your mind at any point.
Yep.
And I don't have an adjudicator for this, so I don't know.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Is the film got a female lead?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Is the film set in the 90s?
Yes, it is.
Is the film? Is it a comedy? No. I've got to say, is it? It's an action film.
No.
Is it a comedy?
Yes.
How many questions is that?
4.
Okay. So it's a comedy, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this lead actress still working today?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the director famous?
Yes.
Right. Is the actress the main protagonist?
No.
So there's a male lead as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it an ensemble cast, or is it just those two actors and that actor and actress?
It's ensemble.
Ensemble. Okay. Okay. Is Wesley Snipes in this film?
No.
Okay. Is it the early part of the 90s or the later part of the 90s this film was made?
It's neither.
So it's the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a comedy. Is it Swingers?
No.
I went straight for the ball there, man. Okay. Is Vince Vaughn in this film?
No.
How many questions is that?
12.
Damn, I'm burning through these. Is the director still making films today?
Yes, he is.
So it's a he. Fantastic. Is it a film that I've seen?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else to ask because I can't imagine who the female lead is. I can't imagine. Can I have a clue? Or not? What?
Trying to think. I'm trying to think what's a good clue that wouldn't give. Okay, Michael Rooker's in it. You know Michael Rooker, right?
Yeah. He's in several films in the 90s. Is Oliver Platt in it?
No.
Okay. Oh, Mallrats.
Yep. It was Michael Rooker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say Stan Lee's in there, but that would have been a bit too much.
I was thinking, oh yeah, because
Yeah.
the way I got to that was through that film Stallone was in,
Oh, yeah.
and he was in. He did the film with Kevin Smith, and that was Midnight. Yep, Mallrats. Boom. Very good, man. I like that. It was cool.
On that note, would you like a chocolate-covered pretzel?
No. I grudgingly not accept. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. This is the end of the show. Thank you, Sach, and thank you, listeners. This has been the Zedos Game Podcast, and we're out.